Hello everybody, my name is Ethan Wagner, and I'm a 18-year-old and I have a personal business, or I created my personal business called Vortex Computers. Vortex Computers is a buy, sell, refurbish, repair company that I've created to help people with their computers or technology or consoles, TVs, etc. And repair them or refurbish them. Um, that's basically it. Um, so for the first video on YouTube, I'm going to start making videos on YouTube for the computers that I get from clients. And I'm gonna just tell you about all my ventures, essentially. So this is a computer channel. And if you do have any computers to fix, let me know, and I will certainly fix it. I will certainly refurbish it, and I am known for being better than Geek Squad in the area that I'm in with all the clients. I have affordable prices, good prices. Geek Squad, on the other hand, no offense, but you guys have prices off the charts, man. When I was little and I had a gaming laptop, I took it to Best Buy to get it fixed, and they couldn't fix it, and I lost all my data. Now I know how to get that back, so if I have that trouble again, if my computer crashes or something, I know how to get that data back. So that's another thing that I do here. Yeah, I just welcome you to Vortex Computers in Pittsburgh, PA. For any inquiries, such and such, I will have all my contact info in the description below. Here's my business card. I don't know if you can see that. I have my contact phone number, email, and all the stuff that I do in the back. And I do have a website. It's vortexcomputers.org. And that is it. Select the location, and you're good to go. My current base location is in Allison Park, PA. And you would want to click that one for all of the things that I do. The Slippery Rock, PA one is a miniature shop. Just a second little base to have for more clientele. So, for the first video, I thought we'd start off with my latest client. And the latest client that brought in a laptop is this Dell here. I haven't looked at it yet, so we can take a look at it today. So this is a Dell, let's open it here, Dell Latitude E6400. And I did already put a sticker on it because this was a donation from a client, and they didn't want it anymore. So we're going to see what we can do to refurbish it and resell it. So, here we go. It does look like I need good need of a cleaning. We'll do that eventually. What I/O we have here? We got a landline port, but it seems to be blocked off. We got Ethernet. We got DisplayPort. Power. We got VGA. We got eSATA. USB Type A. This is a hard drive slot. We got an SD card in the front. That's about it. And then on the other side, we got two more USB Type A's, a microphone port, a headphone jack. We got a Wi-Fi switch to turn on and off your Wi-Fi, but you really wouldn't need to do that. We got a removable DVD CD player on this laptop, so that's always handy if this always breaks and you would need a new one. And then you got FireWire, and then the PCMCIA, I think. Yeah, PC port slot, PC slot. So, before we turn it on, let's see what we have inside. So, is there a charge? There is 1% charge, it looks like. We'll need to charge it. The charger looks brand new. It still has a little plastic seal on it. I don't know if you could see that or not. 65-watt charger. That seems pretty reasonable for a Dell laptop. We got expansion port, so let me be right back. I can show you what that is used for. So a expansion slot like this, normally Lenovo or IBM thought of a way to do that for expansion on your laptops. It looks pretty much like this. This is for a ThinkPad. This won't really work in this Dell, but essentially it gives you many more ports. But we'll work on this ThinkPad expansion port with another laptop that I have in stock, and we can make another video on that later. So let's take this battery out before we open it up, just to be safe. Okay, so I don't see any screws here. You can always put new screws in. I have a bunch of those. But it looks like we only need to take out one screw, and this looks like it slides right out. So let's take this apart. Okay, it doesn't come out, so it's just a slide and a lift. Yep, that's pretty much it. So what we got in here, so this looks pretty sophisticated. Apparently this is the hard drive slot, so we can just take this out, and it does have an HDD. That is slow in these times, or these days. Let's see what we have in here. It looks like a 250 gigabyte HDD with RPM of 7,200. I don't know if you can see that. You can pause right there and look at the WD information right there. But we're going to take this apart and put this new Natech 512 gigabyte SSD for faster performance and speed on this laptop. So this is 2.5 inch. So this is always 2.5 inch. There's more hard drives out there like M.2 or NVMe. But for old laptops, it's going to be 2.5 inch. This has SATA 3, 6 gigabit per second. And you can see there's just other languages here. But we can take this apart here. There it is. Here's the 512 gigabyte SSD. So, for all you newcomers out there who don't know a lot about computers and you need to know what to do, or what things are, or the recommendations that I'm saying here will definitely help you in the future. So this is an HDD, this is an SSD. They are both hard drives, right? Yeah, they are both hard drives, but they are totally built different. So back then, they had hard drives with spinning disks in them, disk platters, like floppy disk, but it's metal, and all your storage and data, like Windows and all of that, is on here. So without this, you really cannot use the rest of the laptop. You are very required to use this to run the laptop. There are other ways that you can bypass skipping this drive, like a USB to SATA, so you can have this externally, but if you're trying to do this on portable, or take this to place, you want this in here. So back to this, HDDs have a spinning disk in them, so they're significantly slower than what an SSD is. An SSD is a bunch of microchips, so there's no moving parts, there's no spinning disk. It's just a bunch of microchips, and it's significantly faster than an HDD spinning disk. If you were to drop this hard drive, the spinning disk hard drive, HDD, it is most likely that it will break. If you drop this, it will most likely that it would still work, because this, it just acts like a faster flash drive. This is just a better version of this. So that's something to keep note when you're refurbishing computers or fixing them. Go with the SSD besides the HDD for faster performance and speed. So let's take this apart. Looks like there are two screws, or oh, just one screw, looks like it. Let's take that apart and put the SSD in. Got to make sure which way the port went, because one side is longer than the others. So it went like this, so I'll put it in just like that. And there we go. We can just put that right in. Looks like it goes the other way. Whoops. Make sure that goes in the right way each time. And it's locked into place. So the SSD is in here. With the HDD, whatever you want to do with it, you can use it as an external backup drive. That's what I normally do when I give laptops back to their owners. When I'm done refurbishing them, they can have a backup always. But these are really not worth that much. You can find an HDD for around $5 to $10 at your local thrift store or online in general on eBay. But you can use these for servers or anything else. Just make sure you refurbish the computer with an SSD for faster performance, like I said before. Okay, so this is the WLAN port. This is the NIC for short. This is the Wi-Fi drive, or the Wi-Fi Wi-Fi chip here, so you can access the Wi-Fi. Make sure you always have that, so you can actually access the web without using Ethernet. This right here, let's see if we need an upgrade, or we can keep it as is. It looks like it's DDR2. Different RAM slots have different spots. So DDR2 is here, DDR3 is around here, DDR4 is like in the middle, and DDR1 is very small. We'll go over what RAM is and what it does in a more thorough context in a later video, but RAM is your memory, more programs you can run at the same time. So memory isn't your storage, it's temporary storage. This is permanent storage, and this is temporary storage. But we have 2 gigs of RAM in there, and 2 gigs, 4 gigs. That's good enough for a resell. You could probably max it out to 8, but you would need to check the manual to see if the laptop can even hold 8 gigs of RAM. But 4 is pretty minimal. More minimal these days is now like 6 gig or 8 gigabyte of RAM, but 4 gigabyte will work it will work fine if you're a lightweight user or web browsing, business, portability, or light gaming. It'll work. So this is the heatsink. This is the CPU fan. CPU is and GPU is here. So your GPU is over here. The CPU is over here. I'm not going to take that apart right now, but the CPU is basically your brain of the computer. It doesn't hold the storage, but it makes everything work. I can talk about each component later date in another video. But let's put this all back together, see if it turns on, see if the computer works, and if it works, we can put an OS on it. Just a simple slide in, like so. And we could just screw that back together if it wants to. Hello. And there we go. Put the battery back in. Flip it over. Let's open it up. So it looks like it has
Open It Up, Amigos is a song released on January 26, 2018 with the album
Alexa, please stop. Sorry about that. Yeah. So this is a Centrino 2 Intel V Pro. It's an older CPU, but it'll work. And it looks like this laptop came with Windows Vista. You should always upgrade Windows Vista. Windows Vista was not as good. And it's also unsupported. So Dell has this little thing here that kind of is copying the Lenovo IBM ThinkPads with the little nubbin right here. I should call it nubbin mouse. It's like a trackpad, but you move it around and stuff like that. You probably know what that is. So let's turn it on and see if it works. We got the little blue indicator light, so we know it is turning on. We got power indicator. So yeah, it looks like it needs charged. So let's take this apart, plug it in, and turn it on. So here we go. The port was in the back, as I said before, so let's plug that in. Now it's charging, and it turns on. Okay, we're going to press F1. No bootable devices. So since this is a new drive, there's no OS on it. The OS that you probably want, or I recommend, is Windows 10. You could put Windows 7 on here if you want like a faster experience, but slightly unsupported experience. Windows 7 would probably work best if you're a business person, something like that. But I'm going to put Windows 10 on here. We can have the choice of Windows 10 Enterprise, Pro, Home, S, N, or NT, which is also server. We are going to put Windows 10 Pro on here because this laptop the product key on the bottom came with Windows Vista Professional. So we might as well put Windows 10 Pro to keep the consistency going. If you know what I mean. So let me get the USB installer for this, and we can activate that later on. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. I got my Windows 10 Pro installer right on this drive here, this Windows drive. It says home here, but there is actually a Pro version that I can use on here. I don't know where did I see it. It's on here. Totally forgot, but it has a Pro option on here, and I have Pro product keys that I can distribute and resell on other hardware. So what you want to do is plug this in. Let me turn this so you can see it. I'm going to press F1, see if that works. If it doesn't, I'm going to put Control-Alt-Delete to restart it. F12, I think, is boot options. Yeah, I wasn't quick enough. But F12 is boot options. So it looks like it doesn't want to boot. So we're going to go to F2, setup menu, and see what we have here. So I got system maintenance, wireless, virtualization support. Might as well put that on because some people do use VirtualBox. So let's enable that. Press apply. Sorry for the cuts, you'll get those a lot. I have other clients and that during the day. So I'm not just alone all the time. So I'll have to stop where I'm at and pick up a client real quick before I go back to the video. So there'll be cuts, but you didn't miss anything. It's exactly where it was. So, general information boot sequence. We're gonna put USB device up and apply. System date and time. You might want to change that to, I don't know. Well, we'll change that later. I don't seem to have that right now. I don't see secure boot on here, but if secure boot was enabled, I wouldn't be able to put an OS on here because, well, secure. Let's see if that works. Okay, it worked. So we have USB device, CD, DVD, CD or W drive. That's the CD drive. If you're booting from a CD instead of a USB, your choice. Onboard NIC, you really don't want to mess with that. That's just a whole thing of problems. We'll get on that later date. But USB storage device. It'll load here. So we don't know if this is a 64-bit or 32-bit system. 64-bit is, well, 6432, you want to make sure you know what that means to know which OS to choose. But I'm guessing this Dell is a 64-bit, so we're going to hit 64-bit. If it was a 32-bit, this wouldn't load, it will give you an error. So if you were flashing this like using Rufus or something to put an OS on here, MBR is something else, and GPT is 32-bit, I think. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but make sure your system model, look it up, see if it's 6432. I believe this Dell machine is 64-bit because I also worked with an older model that was 64-bit before this one. So I'm giving it a guess. And there's the Windows logo. You know it's a good sign when you see the screen purple or blue. So what you want to do is click your language right there. Mine is English, United States. And then click Install Now. Setup is starting. That will stay like that depending on the performance on your computer. You don't know how long that'll take. It might take a slower amount of time since it is an older laptop. But if you have like an older laptop, like Windows XP ages, like an IBM ThinkPad or a Toshiba Satellite, like 1 or something, it might take a really long time. So just wait, and it will set up. It will start setup for you. Like there. So I don't have the product key now. I'll put it in a later date when I have all the drivers installed. So you can put that in now, or you can skip it. But right now, I'm going to skip it. So just click, I don't have a product key. I do, but... So, here's all the OS versions of Windows 10 that this USB has. And I told you it does have Windows... Okay, it does have Windows 10 Home, Education, or Pro. Pro for Workstation, and Pro N for Workstation. But for this case, we're going to click Windows 10 Pro. And then click Next. You have to agree the terms, or, well, no Windows. And if you were to upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10 or something, or Windows 7 to Windows 8, you would want to click Upgrade, Install Windows, and Keep Files, Settings, and Applications. But since this is a new drive, you want to do Custom, Install Windows Only, Advanced. It's not that advanced. We couldn't find any drives to get a storage driver. Click Load Driver. So try Load Driver, browse. If you can't find it there, maybe it's stopping you on the BIOS. But I think, yeah, no sign drivers, rescan. No sign drivers. Okay, so we couldn't find any drivers for this. Let me zoom in here so you can see what I am seeing. So yeah, we couldn't find any drives. To get storage driver, click load driver, but it could be something in the BIOS, so let me change whatever I need to do in the BIOS to get the storage device seen. Okay, so we're back, and I found out the issue for the BIOS and why the drive wasn't getting picked up. We have 232 gigabyte SSD. Even though it's a 512, I just switched it out with a younger drive, I should say, with very little gigabyte, because honestly, for a laptop like this, you don't need that much storage. So let's press next to continue the installation. So now it is copying Windows files, 0%. I am going to cut this out, and once this is done, I will pick up the record. This might take longer if you have a slower computer, and if you had like a beefy computer, then like a gaming computer or a fast Asus computer, like brand new, This will only take just like a few minutes, but with an older laptop like this will take longer. As you can see here, the installation has finished. It is just installing updates and it'll finish up. After that, it will say hello. This might take a while, and it'll well, no, I lied. After this, it will show up and tell you Cortana, and then you go ahead and set up the machine. I'll show you how to do that, and then after you set up that, it'll say hello. This might take a while, and it'll boot up into Windows. So I will be right back. Okay, as you can see here, Windows is loading up, booting up, and we will see the Cortana screen in a few moments. So this is so you can play games on your computer, but we're not going to be doing that, so we'll say no thanks. It looks like it's some amount of payment a month if you want the Game Pass, but I really don't recommend it. Do everything with Cortana. I'll click accept just to give the full functionality of the laptop. And as we can see here, it says, hi, we're getting things ready for you. And once this is done, we'll boot into Windows. So it says this might take several minutes. Don't turn off your PC. This might actually take several minutes depending on how slow or quick your computer is. So if you had like let's just say a beefy computer, super powerful one, this will only take like not even a minute. But with an older laptop like this, it might take at least 2 minutes. So as we can see here, it booted up into Windows and Edge has started. But I honestly do not recommend Edge. I recommend Brave Browser. Brave Browser blocks ads, scammers, and some potential hacks or viruses from getting on your machine. And it also blocks pre-roll ads on your YouTube videos, so you don't have to pay for, let's say, YouTube Premium. So the screen resolution is not up to par yet. So let's download Brave Browser, get some newer HTML, newer supported HTML, and download some drivers. Now I'm not gonna record. So yeah, searching for display driver, as you can see on the bottom right hand corner, you can see it searching for display driver. So once it finds one, it will ask to restart, and the screen will flicker black, and it will change the resolution for us, so we don't have to. So let's search Brave Browser. Now, I'm not going to record me downloading the drivers, just because that'll take too long, and it's super easy to do. So, like a Dell or HP, go to the official website, type in your model number. For Dell, you go to detect my PC, and it will automatically detect your PC, and it will load the drivers for you. It's called Dell Assistant. Just download that, and it'll download all the drivers for you, so you don't have to do that. But for the recommended browser, I do recommend Brave. So download that right now, and I'll be right back. As you can see here, Brave Browser has successfully downloaded, and the screen isn't whited out as it was before. It installed the driver. So we are going to set as default, so Edge doesn't load up every time you want to open a PDF or something like that. So just click next, read all that if you want to. I don't. So there's the browser. And what I normally do on the demo laptops is I put my website right there, and then I bookmark it, and then after that, since all the drivers are installed and everything is basically completed, then essentially we're done. So there it is right up there. This computer is for sale for $250, so if you're interested, you will find it on eBay in a couple of days. And once it is uploaded on eBay, let's just say I'll just put a comment down in the comment section with the link for you to look at and potentially purchase. Alright, so thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time in the next video. Alright, bye-bye.